So we are so excited to bring today KANIA, an amazing Canadian brand based here locally in Ottawa. So thank you, Stacey, so much for joining us here on POP TV.
Hey, thanks for having me. So
yeah, so I mean, Stacey, I got to know you last year. I mean, you're incredibly energetic. I love your product. You have an amazing brand. I wanted to ask you, so how are you doing?
It's been an interesting roller coaster ride. It's been, the very first day when they told us that we had to close our store down. My store is at 145 York downtown. It at first was like, oh, it's okay. We're gonna figure out other ways. And all of a sudden, the entrepreneurial mindset comes in. And you kept thinking about all these new ways. A week into that, it was like, how am I actually gonna do this? Reality hit in where it's like, well, my store's closed, my events are closed, my wholesale's done, my corporate collaborations are done. My everything that I had possibly planned from now until who knows when has canceled, and you get this feeling of frustration, not depression, but anger almost for all the things that you had planned that are no longer happening. And so it took a couple weeks to be able to regroup, to now reshift and know what is it exactly that I'm going to be doing, how can I make this be something better that I do and thrive from it at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's so difficult. And I think that's one of the reasons why, I created the group for SupportLocal. I think now more than any time, Canadians are really, embracing the SupportLocal movement. They're looking at how they can directly support their brands. And, I tell everybody it could be as simple as liking and following your brand's social media accounts. If your birthday's coming up, birthdays haven't been canceled. So, buy an item, get a gift card, do what you can to support. And, it's been really tough. So it's sort of nice to sort of at least hear the stories of, where your struggles are and how we can actually maybe do something to support. I think the more people know, the more we can take action, right?
Yeah, I think what you just said, it's about reaching out to people. Yes, it's about purchasing. We would love to. A lot of stores still have online stores. So for instance, for us, we still have our online store operating. We're working with a local courier within Ottawa that's couriering all of our pieces as well. But it's really just the support of reaching out, understanding that things are locally made, that people actually make these things, and that the businesses are still operating or doing their best to operate. And I think having that support and putting that into the business owners, it really, really means a lot.
Oh, that's fantastic. I also wanted to bring it back because really fun stuff. I remember when I met you, actually it was I didn't meet you, but I was at an Ottawa Senators game and having the time of my life. We were actually really lucky because our startup got an invitation to one of the suites. So it was a nice, treat. And the hostess was wearing this beautiful blazer. It was beautiful bright red and it was like just stunning. I mean, it was just gorgeous. And I was, where did you get this blazer from? She's like, oh, it's a local brand, KANIA, based in Ottawa. And so that's when sort of the switch went off. I was like, okay, I got to figure out, where is this brand? I got to discover them. And that's when I, got to know you. I came to your boutique at Barwood Market. Yeah. And I was able to connect with you and see more amazing pieces that you have. So tell me more about some of the amazing stuff you've done. I mean, you've done, runway shows in New York. Ottawa Senators, designing exclusive wear for, representing our team. And also, I mean, in the craze of the Toronto Raptors winning the finals, I mean, you put together a really beautiful piece embracing that too. So tell us about that.
So yeah, I think my whole career started just by me making things that allow me to feel comfortable and beautiful at the same time. And I think it resonates with a lot of different people. So everything that I make comes from pieces of fabric that is either t-shirt or sweatshirt fabric. I get all the fabric custom milled, so it's custom spun and milled. It's all Canadian made that way. But it's made for thinking of comfort first and fashion second. So a lot of times our comfy clothes just don't look good and our fashion clothes aren't comfortable. So I have to blend those together. And I think by doing that, it was recognized by these different people and companies that were just like, wow, like, look at how good comfort can look. Like right now I'm wearing that same sweater that you were talking about.
I love it. Yeah.
But the whole idea is that I can feel polished in it. I can feel beautiful in it, but then I can still roll up on the sofa and be comfortable. And right now, more than ever, because we're all at home, it's been really popular and nice because you can actually be polished and not feel like you're living in your pajamas all day.
And
You know,
talking about
so
that, I remember one of the things you told me, which I thought was very interesting, is that you have a dancing background, and everyone who knows me knows I love to dance. So it's
yeah,
like with my love for dance, my love for sports, my love for looking good and stylish. I mean, you literally took the trifecta and put that your heart and soul into what you made.
yeah. So I started my career as a professional performing artist. I was dancing. I did theme park, cruise ship. I ended up on Broadway by the time I was 19 years old, and doing exactly
Amazing.
what I love, just dancing my heart out and getting paid for it. And it was amazing. But I always knew that as a dancer, I loved doing what I did, but I wasn't going to translate to be a business forever because it is your body. It's only as long as you're going to be able to do all that and live on Broadway or live in New York City. So I started
Right.
creating a clothing line, and I really wanted to make it be the same feeling that I felt in my dance clothes, but now making it more fashionable for a professional lifestyle. And that's where that bridge kind of was. There was like a gap in the marketplace where there was nothing that was just comfy and stylish at the same time. There's a lot of yoga clothes out there that people are wearing yoga clothes to work, or they're clothes that are like really stylish and beautiful, but as soon as you get home, you want to rip it off, you know? So I just wanted to do was what is in between, like what makes you feel incredible in between. And it was really stemmed from me being a dancer and having the freedom of movement through my body. In dance, you always have to be poised and polished. We always have to look good going to auditions and whatnot. So that's kind of where it all started from.
Oh, I love it. See, there's so much stuff to uncover behind a brand, and I love it. I love it. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I mean, I know we're living in bizarre times right now. The summer season isn't going to be what, it normally would be when things are, operating normal. But I mean, it's great. I think I was reading one of these articles in LinkedIn, and they're talking about, some of the trends. And they're talking about people are going to be, at home a lot. I mean, we know that, but a lot of interest in getting their fitness back up, spending more time doing outdoor activities that they weren't doing. So, in terms of what your customers you're seeing, like what they're looking for this summer, what are your thoughts on that? Like,
Oh, hello. I'm cutting out a little bit, but
oh, am
I
I cutting
find
out?
that yeah, I can hear you
I'm sorry.
though. I find the customers are like they're. I always been doing this. It's been 15 years of doing the kind of styling that I'm doing. So, but right now more than anything, it's completely on trend. Like people are living in their joggers, but they want the joggers to look better looking than the joggers that they had before.
Right.
They're living in a sweatshirt, but now they want to be in the more stylish of the sweatshirts because they don't want to be in an old ratty sweatshirt every day. So it's kind of like for me in a positive manner. If there's ever an area in fashion design that I could be in, I'm blessed that I already created this line that's about being like in your fashion but fitness type clothing. And it's
Right.
really been great, but that's kind of the trend people are looking towards. They want to be able to be in a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, something comfortable, jersey materials. We use a lot of sustainable fabrics. All that stuff that's on trend right now is kind of the thing that they're looking at and the thing that we're doing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been in so many Zoom calls. I'll tell you, like, it's like you're sitting and you want to be comfortable and you want to look good, right? So
Yeah.
there, everyone's looking for that wardrobe upgrade. It's like its own category that not many people knew about, but you're already handling like years before. So
I, I was ahead of the
you
times.
were ahead of the time, I'm telling you. And
Yeah.
I wanted to, again, going back to sort of, the story behind the story, everybody has an inspiration, what fires them, what led them to create, the brand, their story, their journey. If you can name one person who inspires you, who is it?
You know what? And it's funny, people ask me that all the time. I don't really have a one person in brand that I inspired by who helped me bring my brand to life. It's really women in general. It's seeing women going from being moms to business owners to working at home or whatever they're doing. I'm inspired by women by seeing their everyday life and allowing them to look more beautiful and have more effortless beauty through what they're doing. That's kind of always been my thing. Like it's always been
Yeah.
like seeing this woman in a business suit and being like, how can she conduct that business better if she looked polished and was way more comfortable. Or seeing this woman at home who might be a stay-at-home mom who's like doing such a hard job at home, but just wanted to look a little bit better. So those are the things that really inspire me as like to create my business. But if there's someone like in like a business person I look up to as a mentor, Sarah Blakely from Spanx is one of them, in terms of like a person that I look up to because she was able to be resilient to start her brand with $5,000 and to grow it to be $1 billion brand is incredible for me when I look up to like another entrepreneur. You know, just to say, how did she get to doing it from this to that, and how much push did she have to keep going, the resilience to keep moving forward when you know she would have had adversities and struggles. How did she keep going? Listening to her stories and listening to how she did it inspires me.
No, it's a great story, right? I mean, again, you need such tenacity and resilience in this game. We know how hard it is, right? So, yeah, her story is amazing. Like you said, started with a $5,000, and for her to build her empire, it's really inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
That's really interesting. So just going back to sort of, how this all started with, this group and, our passion for, supporting Support Local, in sort of that path, what does Support Local mean to you? How does it tie to your brand?
It's everything brand. It's always been, my brand started out as, I didn't really know I was being a fashion designer at the time. I was just making clothes that I liked. People started buying them. So everything that I do is local. Like I said, everyone that works for me is local. They're all here in Ottawa or Toronto or Vancouver, all within Canada. All of our fabric mills, the fabric is all Canadian milled. It's everything, every piece of this is local. So for me, supporting local in every element is something that we appreciate and we love and we honor and we ask people to continue to do. Because not only is it just my store, like I said, it's my store, like events, the wholesale, the corporates, everything is about a local feeling. And I think that the local businesses now, that when you see them that they're not around, like the other day I was driving up Bank Street and I thought, I got downtown pretty quick because it was none of those local businesses are open, and I thought it's kind of sad to see that none of these stores are opening, because the stores are the ones that create the feeling of Bank Street or the feeling of downtown. They really create that element, and I feel like supporting local in every aspect, whether it's your favorite bakery or your, the bike shop or the, whatever, the fashion designer, it's really important to support those creative ideas and the people that had started those businesses.
100%. And for me, I feel that as well, right? Again, to the intro, I firmly believe that every city, if you look at the heart and soul, whether it's Chicago, New York, great cities in Canada, like, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, out west, Calgary, every city is defined by culture, and culture is defined by community, right? So it really is, local business is the heart and soul of every city. I mean, if we solely depended on buying everything on Amazon and what would we have left, right? We would just be a big factory and ordering online, and that would be all. So I think again, a lot of Canadians, and I've gotten so many messages about people just realizing it's one of those things again, right? We're all guilty of it. We take things for granted, unfortunately. But I got so many messages of people just realizing, wow, I didn't realize how much like local meant to me until they were threatened, and local businesses. Yeah.
It's
So
really amazing because I think the local is also about the person behind the product. I think a lot of times we order product because we need the product. We want a new T-shirt or whatnot. But when you support local, you're actually getting to be one with and know the person that created that product, what their reasoning was for giving it to you, what their value was that they wanted to give to you. And I feel like it makes that thing way more special than it would be just by ordering whatever it was. And a lot of times they take time to make their product or their whatever they're doing, they make it a little bit better. Sometimes a little bit more time they take. The materials within it are sometimes higher quality or whatnot. So I think it's really important to support local for all those reasons.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, as when I got to know a lot of our local brands here through the startup I'm working on, I mean, I realized like often their products are far more superior and at a better price point. If you were to buy a larger brand product, if you really dissected the materials, like you said, or whatever, you'll realize actually the price point is a lot cost effective for the smaller brand because their quality is often that much superior. And the other thing too is, you know, one of the movements through this coronavirus is looking at reshoring some of our manufacturing, and you know, again with the whole support local thing, and again, it's just the impact. Like you said, you have employees directly, Canadian employees, Canadian manufacturers. I mean, it just creates a circular web of prosperity. So if we look at, you know, Canadian stimulus and, you know, what we're trying to do in the government, trying to get, you know, checks out to everybody, to really keep that within the country is so powerful, and never as much more powerful than in times like today. So I could really appreciate that. Yeah. And just lastly, again, you know, we have a lot of our community here on our Support Local group watching. Some of them already know you, some of them might be new to you. I call them our super fans. These are our fans that support local. We love you guys, so keep doing that. And what are your words, your last words to your super fans today?
I want to continue to love and to continue to be one with each other. I think this is a very difficult time we're all going through with the isolation and being home. And I think that it's been a time where people have been reaching out more to people more than ever. I feel like the extension of love that's been given has been incredible and remarkable. And I think that we need to continue to do that. And for me, I always feel like I am love. Like, that's who I am.
You are love. I know you.
To the people.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to continue to do that because you can almost feel a shift in the way people operate. And if we continue to be like that, I think it will just be so much better across the board for everybody.
I think so too, and you're right about that. I mean, I remember the first time we met, we just had this energy, and it's nice, like you said. I mean, positivity, the smiles, the love. I mean, it passes and it just goes, right. So it's really effective. And Stacey, I wish you all the best luck. I mean, I'm your fan for life. I love what you do. I love the energy, the hard work. The brand is gorgeous. So thanks so much for coming on board and sharing your story here on our group at POP TV. And lastly, I just wanted to reach out to our community as well and say, you know what, thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. Again, to grow this movement, you know, share this group with your friends and family, and continue supporting just, again, the local brands, and keep well, keep safe. Like Stacey was saying, it is tough times. So spend the time with your family and be well. So thank you again. And if you're a business, please reach out if you would also like to attend our next POP TV live series. Reach out at a DM with me and we'll set you up. So thanks again, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye. Bye, Stacey.
Bye.
Bye.